Hey, how's it going, guys? Dalton here with another video on the YouTube channel, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be finding out what happens if you leave the river poker boat in the mission, The Fine Night of Debauchery. Once again, this is essentially where Arthur and Trelawney and Javier and Strauss go into a riverboat and play on the highest poker stakes poker game in Red Dead Redemption 2. And we're going to be finding out what happens if you leave the boat early and return to Shady Belle. Now, with a little PC magic and mod menus, I wanted to find out, hey, you know, this would be a kind of a cool idea if Arthur actually leaves the boat instead of playing poker. What would happen if he turns back to Shady Belle? Would Dutch say, "What are you doing here? You're supposed to be on the boat"? Would the gang even be in Shady Belle? So we're going to be finding that today in this video. And what I actually found out is there's actually some pretty cool experiments that you probably didn't know when doing this, because a lot of you guys probably didn't realize that you could actually leave the boat or go outside the boat. Well, you actually can, and I actually came outside here, and Strauss was kind of hanging out by the dockside, and he basically come on and say, "Take a seat, Arthur, you need to go play some poker, you know, I'll be in a minute," and I was able to talk to Strauss and Javier, so I was able to kind of like leave the main inside of the boat where you're essentially supposed to go in and play Desmond Blythe in poker, but instead we were kind of experimenting. And once again, I kind of decided just to kind of run around the boat, see what I can find, and there's actually some secret areas that you actually cannot go into. So instead of just kind of running around the boat, kind of going up the stairs, pretty much if you do have access to the upstairs of where the vault is, we'll dive that in a little bit as we get on into this video. But I kind of want to show you guys what it's like. So what I did is I loaded up a mod menu and spawned and teleported Arthur to Shady Belle. And I thought I was going to get some like pretty gang reactions to see like, what happens if I just leave the boat and return to Dutch and see what the gang members have to say. Now, I figured this would be more easier if I set it to daylight, since the game is supposed to be night when playing this mission. So I just used like no clip, and then I kind of fast forward, and I thought maybe I would fail the mission if I leave the boat. Well, I don't think Rockstar intended anybody to actually do this, so they did not put a deadline on how far you can leave the boat. Like, I'm in Saint Denis when I'm supposed to be on the Grand Corrigan Riverboat, which is absolutely crazy. So once again, I teleported to Shady Belle, and I had some pretty cool results with this. I wanted to see, okay, what's happened? Would Dutch be there mad because I'm not at the poker boat? And you can see I clearly am in the mission, The Fine Night of Debauchery, as if you look on my map and we go all the way over to where the Grand Corrigan is, you will notice that it says the Grand Corrigan, and I'm supposed to be on it. So you know that I am supposed to be on that boat. Well, I wanted to find out what happens if we just walk around camp in this big old fancy suit that Arthur has. I wanted to see if like Bill, you know, Charles, Pearson, Miss Grimshaw, Abigail, and Dutch, and all the other gang members, Micah, would react to saying, "Hey, you need to be back on the boat." Mr. Pearson actually had to go on to say, "Mr. Morgan, you are back." So it's like we're back early. Maybe that's kind of a cool reaction. I didn't expect that. Karen actually went on to say, "Hey, you're back early." You know, I'm wondering if that's kind of a reference to me actually coming back to camp when I'm supposed to be on the riverboat. I do not know. Bill and Reverend have nothing really too much to say. They just go on to say, "You want to take a seat, Morgan?" But I had more of the reaction out of Abigail and Karen, where they said, "Hey, you're back early. I thought you would still be away." So I imagine Rockstar Games didn't intend for anybody to actually do this. And I was actually kind of getting frustrated at this point. I was like, well, anybody else gonna like reacts to Arthur wearing a fancy suit? Like, I didn't know if John or like, you know, Charles would say, "Why are you in that fancy suit? Do you know we're in the country?" or something like that. But no, I didn't get like any reaction like that. But it is a cool experiment nonetheless. As you can see, "Okay, I'll catch you later on." They'll say, "Thanks, Arthur." So I really didn't have much luck with this, but it kind of is kind of cool just to see Arthur supposed to be on the riverboat with this big massive suit. And it kind of is crazy how Desmond, Blythe, and Strauss and Javier are just constantly waiting for Arthur to get back onto the poker boat. But you guys can clearly see I went around this whole house to kind of see the gang members, and I was kind of having luck. I couldn't find Miss Grimshaw or like Karen. I couldn't even find Dutch. Like, I looked everywhere. I went up the stairs at the top of the Shady Bell house. I was like looking for Dutch in his bedroom, kind of seeing if he was here. Dutch wasn't actually there, so it kind of made me think of Dutch would probably still be investigating the trolley station as he was going to do that. And we experimented that yesterday, what happens if you follow Dutch. So that kind of made me want to do this experiment to kind of see what would happen if we ultimately just leave the riverboat. And you'll notice that Abigail's here, and, you know, she just kind of says, like, hi, Arthur, and stuff like that. So some of the gang members are here, and some of them aren't. So my question is, Rockstar Games probably didn't intend for anybody to do this, so they said, hey, we can just throw half the gang members out of the, you know, map or something like that and keep half of them at Shady Bell, since our character's not going to be able to leave the Grand Corgan. But even if you do this like on a PlayStation 5 or if you're on Xbox, you can leave the Grand Corgan. You just have to swim, and you just have to make sure you have enough tonics or you'll probably drown. So most likely it's not going to be doable, but you can leave the Grand Corgan if you want to. So that's kind of my experiment. If you go back to Shady Bell early, you will notice that there's some cool reactions saying, hey, why are you back so early? What are you doing here? You're supposed to be on the riverboat. But nothing out of the ordinary, like them saying, hey, you're supposed to be on the riverboat. No, just kind of things like, hey, you're back early, or hey, you're welcome back. You know, something like you'd be gone for like camp long too. So I wanted to try some other experiments. I wanted to find out what happens if you get back into, you know, where the room where Javier and Arthur goes in to rob the big safe up there where they find Desmond Blythe's watch, and then they decide to take money and knock out the guard. I wanted to find out what happens if you actually get back inside of this locked safe, and wouldn't you know, the door would be locked, but if you use your mod menu, you will notice that you can actually get back in here. And you can actually talk to the guard if you want. It's actually pretty cool. I thought maybe I could get into the safe, but, you know, like I said, the guy kind of kept on saying, hey, there's a seat for you downstairs in the poker game. But I didn't think he was going to really alert. He kept on saying, are you playing tonight? Which we know we are. But I thought this was kind of a cool experiment. But if you actually go inside and out the door, it is locked. So you're not going to be able to get in here without a mod menu. But nonetheless, I thought it was a pretty cool experiment to see if we could get like the money early or maybe even blow up the safe. But turns out you really can't do that either. Now, you are free to explore kind of more on the boat if you would like. There's like other interiors. You can actually follow and take the same way that Javier and Arthur and one of the, you know, like the main pit bosses actually took you upstairs. You can actually go back all the way upstairs through the same way Arthur and Javier did, which I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't think you could actually do it this way. And I really didn't find Javier. I did do this once again off camera. I did find Javier kind of lounging around saying, hey, I'll be in there in a minute. You need to get in there, you know, play some poker at Desmond Blythe. But Trelawney you can kind of just normally see at the bar because he's usually out there getting a cocktail. So that's pretty much all there is really to it. But that's what happens when you guys leave the riverboat early or even try to collect the safe money. You cannot do that, but you can leave the riverboat. And maybe if you have any future other experiments you'd like me to try, you guys can let me know in the comments down below. I got some other videos coming out for experiments. You guys can let me know what you would like to see on the channel. But anyway, guys, that is all the information I got for you guys on this video today. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily awesome videos, such as Red Dead Redemption 2 videos, all the upcoming Rockstar Games and GTA 6 content that I'll be doing on my channel. Subscribe for more of those. Like I said, guys, stay happy, healthy, and well, and I'll see you guys all later on the next video.